What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and today we're talking about the Xbox Business Update podcast that is airing on the 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kind of kind of a weird announcement. I thought I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I didn't know if we should expect some sort of video or press release, but we're getting a podcast with with Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt. And I don't know exactly what the format's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a video podcast or if it's going to be just audio only. But kind of a weird thing. But I guess they didn't want to necessarily do a press release. They wanted it to feel more like a conversation and what, Xbox's business strategy is moving forward. So that probably is a little bit better than having just like a normal press release. Now I'm sure it'll be, they'll have their talking points and they don't really veer off too much from that. There'll probably be some corporate jargon mixed in with that, but hopefully it's a pretty real podcast and they break down exactly whatever their business strategy is moving forward. So I wanted to talk about that. 'Cause there's a lot of rumors and speculations and a whole bunch of stuff swirling over on the internet. And while we don't know anything, I don't know anything. I think a lot of it's kind of just exploded as far as people overreacting. At this point, now that we've we've had over a week now to kind of talk about, because Phil dropped on Twitter, hey, stay tuned for next week. We're gonna update you with our plans, and of course, people were losing their minds. But at this point, I don't see Xbox leaving hardware. I just don't think it would make sense for them to completely drop the hardware and just go third party. Um, I think they're gonna have something up their sleeve because there was that rumored, um well, I think it was a slide that leaked last year where they were showing off a Series X that was just, digital only, so I still think that's potentially coming, and I think Xbox might be venturing into handheld. I don't have any, like, concrete evidence for that, but I feel like we may be getting that option as all these other companies, you've got the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck, even PlayStation kind of jumping into the portable market again with the PlayStation Portal. Not quite, the PSP and the PlayStation Vita that people wanted, but it was kind of a step between. So maybe PlayStation will do that route eventually, but we're not quite sure with them. But maybe Xbox is looking into that market, and with their cloud services that they have, with their Game Pass, I think it would be really cool if they dropped their own handheld. So I don't know if they're going to announce that in this podcast. I think they're strictly going to talk about some games moving over into the third party. So I really don't think stuff like Starfield, Halo, Gears. I don't see that stuff going third party. It just doesn't make sense for them to do that because it does devalue the Xbox brand quite a bit, and it's gonna make a lot of people that have been with Xbox for a long time, or maybe this generation they jumped in with the Xbox Series X or S. It might make them question their decision, and maybe they'll just end up selling their stuff, selling their console, and just going with the PlayStation 5 or, the Switch 2 or, whatever that's called. So, I think that would hurt Xbox in the long run. I think having, kind of not picking and choosing, but kind of what makes sense to go third party. Because I mean, look, Minecraft is, Xbox's biggest IP that they own, and that's been third party for years. When they acquired Mojang, they didn't stop. They didn't make Minecraft exclusive to Xbox. It's still on everything. And it sells like crazy, and it's still doing extremely well for them. Same with like Minecraft Legends and Dungeons. It was on everything. Now you could, on Game Pass, it's quote unquote free. So we've already got a huge IP that's multi-party or multi-platform. Stuff like the rumored Hi-Fi Rush. While a really cool, um, you know, stealth drop that happened last year, makes sense for it to go third party. That way, it could sell a little bit more. There's also Sea of Thieves, which it's what, in its 7th year, and that's been exclusive to Xbox and PC since then. So, something that may be kind of slowing down. Maybe it'll give it some life if you put it on another console and have cross gameplay, um, and stuff like that. I think that could really reinvigorate that series or that game. And I think that game is still doing extremely well, but that still makes sense. It's a live service game, so that makes sense to go to other platforms. Um, so I think just going forward, Xbox isn't going to keep everything exclusive. They're going to kind of do what they've already done with like I said with Minecraft and also also Call of Duty. Call of Duty is another huge franchise that they just acquired. So that's going to stay third party, and that I don't think that game ever makes sense to go back exclusively to Xbox. I think it just makes way too much money being on everything. And I think that's their mindset going forward is they're just going to look at some of the IPs that, aren't huge system sellers, don't maybe sell a huge amount on Xbox. Stuff like Halo Gears, that stuff makes sense to keep first party, to keep on Xbox, to keep people staying on Xbox, but have some of the other smaller franchises that don't sell as well go third party. I think that just makes total sense. Again, I don't see Xbox abandoning hardware anytime soon. At least I hope not, because I think again, having Xbox there kind of drives innovation. It drives competition and all that stuff. So I think it's good for the industry for them to stay in the hardware game, and not be like a kind of like a Sega. I wouldn't want that, but anything's possible, and we'll find out here in a couple days. So kind of pivoting over to Nintendo with Hi-Fi Rush. A lot of people are kind of confused, I guess, on how Nintendo Directs typically work. And if you don't know, typically, whether it's a partner direct or a regular Nintendo Direct, Nintendo always gives us, well, not always, they usually give us 24 hours in advance for their directs. Now with partner directs, they usually do as well, but sometimes they kind of stealth drop them, or they'll say, hey, tune in, in a couple hours for a partner showcase. They've used like the mini direct in the past, where it's a combination of third party stuff and maybe a couple of first party things, but they haven't used the mini brand in a while. So at this point, I don't foresee us getting a regular Nintendo Direct that we're kind of used to getting in February. Um, Nintendo over on Twitter has been dropping a lot of little trailers between the Peach game and Mario versus Donkey Kong, and this morning we got a look at the Splatoon 3 side order DLC plus the next season. So they give us a lot of stuff to kind of go on. Now obviously we still need release dates for Luigi's Mansion and Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, but at this point I could just see them announcing that on Twitter. So I really think we're going to get a partner showcase. I think that just makes sense, and maybe even Hi-Fi Rush could potentially be there. That it falls on the 15th as well, which it was rumored to fall on the 15th. According to like Nate the Hate mentioned on his podcast last week, that's where he thinks it's going to fall on, and also he mentioned that it's going to be a partner showcase. Now he could be wrong. Like everything Nate the Hate says is not 100% guaranteed, and he hasn't always been correct in the past. But it does make sense for a partner showcase, especially to align with whatever Xbox has got going on with their business update strategy. Um, and then and I know a lot of people are going to be bummed out because we want that traditional direct, and I do too. But if we get the partner showcase, I think that kind of solidifies, not 100%, because nothing is 100% until Nintendo tells us. But that I think that you know um, works well with the rumored Switch to March reveal event. That's kind of been speculated for a long time now. Um, a lot of people are talking about this March reveal event, and if we get a partner showcase now, I think Nintendo will reveal the Switch 2, and it'll come out, maybe September of this year. So I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with the partner showcase aligning up with the Xbox thing, because they could announce, Sea of Thieves coming to Switch. They could announce Hi-Fi Rush coming to Switch. So I think it just makes a lot of sense. Again, I know we all want a traditional direct, but hey, we've got potentially next month getting a Switch 2 reveal event, which that's what I really want. I just want the Switch 2, what it looks like, what the price is, release date, some new games maybe, the new Mario 3D game, Prime 4. So a lot to look forward to. I'm very, very curious on what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below so we can get a conversation started, and what your kind of opinion is on all that stuff, and when do you think this stuff is gonna come out. And yeah, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you guys. And that's gonna wrap up this video. I'll probably be streaming some more Zelda Ocarina of Time later on tonight. So if you guys want to come in and join the live, that would be awesome. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm having a blast. I've done 3 so far, and they've been fun. Just kind of conversating back and forth with people over one of my favorite games of all time. So, all right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.